All right. Good evening or good morning. Hope you guys are having a great night or a great weekend. Hope you guys are crushing it and make some money off of our live trading sessions on Twitch. And it is the London session. Everybody get your armor on. Everybody get your helmets on. Everybody get your ibuprofen, and this is not for the London session. I'm talking about for the New York session, all right? Make sure you guys get situated. Who's making a lot of money, guys? All of our trades are playing out. I first want to ask is who's making money in this community? I think everybody. I'm a part of a couple trading groups. I see crickets here with us. I see this rocketing, and that's not being cocky. That's just being seeing you guys make wins. So obviously, we're going to get into some charts, guys, but come on, like crazy, crazy money is being made in this community. I'm seeing people make 20 grand, 5 grand, $1,000. Like look at this Bitcoin short we rode 65x, 400% profit. Okay. XRP, we just posted an XRP short. If anybody's printing off that XRP short, I want to hear it. Look at that, 165. XRP dropped all the way down to, well, a lot of areas. 153, 156. I am going to talk about the XRP short, guys, because I'm in it and I'm not getting out. All right. I'm in the XRP short all the way up here, and I'm not cashing out on profit. Bitcoin, I'm not in a short right now. For me, Bitcoin's a bit too bottomed. And I know Bitcoin could go to 57K, but I'm looking at cashing in on more of a downtrend than a range, right? So if you could catch the top on the Bitcoin short, you're good. But if not, I'd be looking to ride a downtrend that is playing out perfectly. There we go. White up 90% on that XRP short, guys. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. If you're making money, guys, I want to see that like button being hit, all right? Sorry, the live started about 10 minutes later, guys. My computer just seems to want to update over and over again before the live. Regarding poker, guys, we're going to have to switch the poker day because I hurt my back very, very bad last night. And apparently I'm getting old. I don't know. No, but I couldn't really move or anything, and I couldn't really plan anything. So I could not get the poker set up. So we're going to revisit that next week when I'm doing a lot better. January has kicked my butt, all right, regarding turning 30, being sick, feeling in pain, and all of that stuff, and just health issues. So other than that, though, we're looking good. G. Clay, how you doing? Thanks for coming on the live. Look, Olga getting the bit funded account challenge funded. Let's go. XRP short helped. Nice seeing that. Took a long on gold. Okay, I thought you were going to say on Bitcoin. I'm like, okay. So I do want to show you guys the XRP short because I like showing my trades. Guys, XRP is about to roll over. Okay. I just turned 30 out, and I feel like I am very, very old. I feel like everything has been like hurting or just things have been going weird. So, don't know what happened there, but as long as you guys are making money, I'm happy. But yeah, poker next week, guys. So if you guys were waiting for poker is going to come next week. How do you guys like the 24-hour Twitch I've been doing? I shut it off today to upgrade my computer, but I feel like everybody's happy. They like the chart. They like my take profit levels. If you're not on the 24-hour live on Twitch, guys, do it because you're going to get in trades, and you're going to second guess yourself, and then you're going to see my profit levels, and you're going to see, hey, it didn't break out, right? But XRP, right? We'll wait for some people to get into the live, but we haven't even dropped, okay, guys? We have not even dropped on XRP. This thing is about to absolutely crash, dump, capitulate. I don't know what you want to say. We just broke the weekly, all right? XRP has been holding for a while here. And Bitcoin has been my short. I'm always going to Bitcoin, but sometimes you got to ride the wave when things are pushing down. And XRP is about unless some crazy stuff happens, XRP is about to absolutely dump. Your monthly is turning right down. Now, we're not trading on the monthly, guys. Keep that in mind. The MACD, obviously, it's coming down the monthly. We're still above the zero line, but, right? We have officially broken the uptrend on XRP from October 2022. Now, let me make this very clear to everybody. This is an uptrend broken from October of 2022. If you look at XRP here, this is your trend. I'm expecting XRP to at least go to about 68 cents this month or a lot lower. Okay. February is the month for red, the month for love, the month for horror movies that have to start with love, right? Michael Myers, all of that stuff. If XRP breaks here, guys, you're going to see a massive drop to almost 68 to 50 cents in that region. But in the shorter term, you guys know I like my crazy profits, my crazy predictions and all that. XRP is looking at about 139 and 129. 129 would be an amazing take profit because the 3-day is dropping. My get out of jail free card, my bad scenario is if XRP starts pumping like crazy to the moon and we somehow get bullish and Bitcoin goes back to 87K, would be this downtrend. So we're respecting the downtrend, guys. Keep in mind right here, we have a really good downtrend on XRP, okay? Beautiful downtrend, and we keep respecting it. As long as we keep respecting this downtrend, XRP is going to continue to go down until it can't. And then when we eventually break out this downtrend, it's probably going to be a fake out. I'll be real with you guys, but that is kind of what I'm looking for. So if you're not in an XRP short, this would be my short around this area right here. And I'd be going low leverage. My stop loss would probably be about 162. You're kind of just riding the downtrend at this point. Okay, so that is XRP. That's what I'm looking at. There's a lot of money to be made right now, guys, and I'm not joking. A ton of money. Trends are about to break on macro altcoins or assets, right? So here is now the Here is now the trend on XRP. So we're hitting the 382 at about 156. We're bouncing off the 382, okay? 382 is a beautiful bounce. Great take profit, but we're not in for the take profit of the 382. We're in for the take profit of this area. And obviously, if we go down to the 618, we're absolutely going down to 70 cents, 68. And then here's also your take profits on the downtrend. Okay, so of course anything could happen, guys. New York could wake up. We could go to 170 on XRP, but have your stop losses set in profit. I do know the direction I want to take this, and there's life-changing money about to be made if it does do what I think it is about to do. You've got 16 hours left on the 3-hour or in the daily close, on the 3-day close, and you're just about to hit the bottom here. All right. Now, beloved Bitcoin, who made money on the Bitcoin short this weekend, guys? Come on, let me hear it. We're making massive life-changing money. And a lot of people keep on running the hopium card. And I'm just going to be honest. A lot of influencers are running the hopium card. Now, let them do that. That's up to them. But I'm not playing the hopium card. I'm playing sole fact that we broke the uptrend. Okay, we're going to do this again because I keep on taking off my stuff. New York is going to be very, very interesting. By the way, we broke the 800 SMA, okay? I keep on, if you guys have not been on the live the last couple of days, I did a Friday live. We typically don't do a Friday live, but here's the Friday. I did a Friday live. Relaxing sounds, how you doing? Can you look at Ethereum? Absolutely, fam. Okay, so I'm going to take my fib. And I'm going to see we're bouncing off the 1, okay? This is a very good area to see we're bouncing, right? Very good area. But we also broke the 800 SMA and the 786, which means that we're pretty much going to come all the way down to 64 and then all the way down to 51. Now, before I talk about 51, I'm talking about 57K, okay? I know a lot of people think that I was drinking the Kool-Aid and being bearish at the beginning, guys, but we are as bearish as we possibly could be. Now, that isn't a bad thing, okay? Right? Rejected the cloud up here. That's not a bad thing, guys. That's actually, and there's not a lot of fakeouts, which has happened. Did the live just shut off? Yeah, it looks like it did. Are we still live? My computer is like not happy. Okay, so everybody listen up. Everyone listen up, okay? This is where you make the money, guys. This is where you wait for the high leverage trade setups. This is where you cash in on high profit. Look at that. Jeff is Star making $4,300. Sorry, guys, if you're just tuning in, I am in the most crucial pain I've been in back pain. I don't know, my back ended up going spasm on me. So if I start making these weird shift noises and stuff like that or whatever, it's because I'm in excruciating back pain right now. But the back pain is not going to let me stop a wicked YouTube live. Okay, guys, so right here. Right here, we've got a break of structure on the 3-day. This is crucial, absolutely crucial to where Bitcoin is going to go. 74K is the bottom, okay? We've been touting 74K for a while, all right? But if you look at Bitcoin, we have more buys than sells right here on our liquidity gaps, all right? More buys than sells. See, Bronco, nice seeing you on here. Kevin made out on a Solana short. Let's go. Everybody is making money in this community. I love to hear it. It is just the start, all right? So it is very tough to break right here because we have more buys. The blues are the buys. The reds are the sells. Providing we break right here, we come all the way down here. Now, I think I pointed this out a couple of days ago, guys, but the red means more sells, the blue means more buys. Once we get to this region right here, more people are selling Bitcoin than buying Bitcoin. We're already in the region where more people are buying Bitcoin than selling Bitcoin, okay? If you look at the Fibonacci, the 618, we're already breaking everything. So pretty much what Bitcoin did is faked out back to the 618, about 95, 97K. Now we're hitting the 1. We hit the 786. We hit the 886 target. Now you're looking at about 64 and about 53. I would say it's very, very likely 53 gets hit at this point. There. Now, if you're actually doing a long-term fib, which is what we should be doing. That was the short-term fib. Okay. By the way, guys, come on. The ticker. The live already started. If you guys are doing a long-term fib is what we should be doing. We have Bitcoin right here. We have a double bottom. We have a double bottom right here. The bottom, so we're going to line up our Fibonacci 618 retracement right there. And now if you go on the longer term trend, now it's the shorter term trend. We haven't hit the 382 yet. The 382 is about 57. The 618 is about 34. And then your 786 is about 24. So before we start talking about 24, we need to, or 34, we need to hit 57. 57 is going to be my target in the market, but there's a caveat to that. We got more buy or more sells than buys in this region. Now we're at 74K. It is really looking like we're going to come down and hold support around 40K. I don't want to say it, guys, but the reality is down here we have more sells than buys. Up here we have more buys than sells. We break this area right here, we come down here. But that would be the main target of support and ranging in the market if the market wanted to do that. And 34 is a stretch, but that would be your 618. Now, keep in mind, a lot of people are saying this is a crash. I even have it in my title. But if you guys really look at the market, guys, this is a macro retrace. And for everything to settle after a massive pump, you're eventually going to come down to the 618, which is the Fibonacci golden ratio. And then normally you're going to pop back up. But let's talk about 57 in the shorter term because I don't want this to be a clickbait live. There is a high possibility, though, we start dumping off of that 57 because we're hitting a block where there's more sells than actual buys. All right. So that is what we're looking into. That is what we're going into at the moment. XRP is probably my favorite trade, guys, because if you could ride XRP all the way down to the bottom from that short, oh my gosh, you guys are about to print profit. Right. And Bitcoin's definitely not looking too hot right now. So we'll see what London does. I don't think London's going to break Bitcoin out, but anything could happen. Right. We want to protect our capital. We protect our capital. That is all that matters in this market. Protect the capital, fam. All right, so we have Solana right here too. We know, I'm not even going to look at TradingView right now because we know Solana is bouncing off here, which is that 95 target. Watching while prepping a steak. Let's go. How do you have your steak? Medium rare, a little bit of butter, a little bit of parsley. Yeah, that sounds like a good steak. So I'm going to do the same thing to Sol because now we're looking at targets that aren't even bearish targets. They're just how the market is right now. Okay, so same thing with Solana here. You're looking at Solana hitting about 75, then about 31. So if I look at Solana here on the macro time frame, if we come down to about this area of liquidity, you've got more sells than buys. Okay, so the red Solana is looking like a killer short. Now, personally for me, if I was going to get into a Solana short, it would probably be after this, after we break 77K, because, well, look at that drop, right? But you probably could get into a Solana trade a lot earlier if you know that we're going to hit that level. You probably want to ride a real nice Solana trade. Guys, do I just sound bearish? Like, I'm not trying to sound bearish, okay? I'm just showing you guys profit levels at this point. Like, at this point, I feel like I'm sounding bearish, but the reality is I can't sound bullish. We're in a bear market, officially in a bear market. We've been in a bear market, even at 97K. But now we're really in a bear market. So I could potentially see Solana pushing up to 111. I don't think that is going to happen. But what I'd be looking at, guys, right here is Bitcoin below, really below this wick. If we break this wick, we're coming down. We're completing the head and shoulder. We're probably going to 30 bucks, all right, on Sol. That is what I'm looking at. If we go on Sol on the monthly, and I will look at Ethereum. Somebody asked me to look at Ethereum. Yeah, if we look at Solana on the monthly, look, Solana is actually about to go into the zero line on the MACD. This is a lot more bearish than any other asset I've looked at on the monthly. In March, you might see Solana around 20 bucks if we don't reverse at this zero line. Maybe in February too. Can I do Ethereum? For sure. All right, so look at this, guys. Ethereum is hitting my targets. If you go watch the lives from the past couple of days, look at ETH. Look at Ethereum. Shout out to everybody, guys, for being on this crypto session live. Make sure you guys are subscribed or watching the Twitch as well. After this, we will throw on the 24/7 live. Make sure you guys go watch Twitch. I'm going to build a custom 24-hour Twitch live room later on. So we're going to be doing some cool stuff later once we make that 24/7 live successful. But here's Ethereum. We've got Ethereum at 2,000. We break the downtrend here. We come back down. That will tag us around 1,800. Then we are ultimately looking at here. We are writing all of our profit levels. We're looking around 900K on ETH, or sorry, $900 on ETH. Okay, so we've got our liquidity blocks right here. There are more buys than sells on Ethereum. So if you guys are looking for a really, really good Ethereum trade, really good Ethereum trade, it would be outside of the break of $2,000. And then you could take Ethereum down to here. Now, the difference with Ethereum and Bitcoin is that our next liquidity gap never mind, that was over the daily. So once you hit this area, you're looking at about 1,500, but you kind of got buys and sells. They're evening out. But yeah, then you're looking at about 1,300. Ethereum needs to break the 2,000 mark first. We're really going to range in this area on Ethereum at about $2,000. Once we break 2,000, expect Ethereum to come down to that 1,400. And then you're going to range really around 14. I see Ethereum ranging around 1,400 to about 1,000. If you break this 1,000 on Ethereum, well, you kind of get the point. So 1,400 would be my range on Ethereum, but we do need to break this 2,000 mark right here. There are more buys than sells in this region. So it is really tough shorting Ethereum here. And I honestly wouldn't short Ethereum here because you're at the bottom of the downtrend. If you break that downtrend, sure, you're going to just dump. Now, the thing I've noticed on Ethereum is Ethereum's playing the daily channel before Bitcoin, which is kind of funny because Ethereum was more bullish before. So if we go to Ethereum, if we go to Bitcoin, right? We had a daily channel. We were playing out on Bitcoin after that break. And that would ultimately take Bitcoin to about $67 to $66K, which has been our target for quite some time. Maybe a wick down to $57K. But the funny thing about Bitcoin is Bitcoin's actually remaining more stable than Ethereum. So if Ethereum hit the bottom of the channel, guys, what do you think Bitcoin's going to do? Probably hit the bottom of the channel unless we break out. If we break out, great, but I hope not, because I would like to cash in on these shorts. So maybe we get a, well, I wouldn't even say we get a wick. We're probably just going to get range, and then come down here, range, and then continue to the downside, right? Let's look at Axie Infinity, see where we're at, see if we broke some key levels here to main. Yeah, we are trying to break on. Altcoins have been pretty stable for the most part, even in this drop. Like your main coins are definitely dropping, but a lot of your lower cap coins are actually holding up okay. Not perfect, but definitely okay. So I can see Axie Infinity coming all the way down to here as soon as you break that 800 SMA. What about Total 3? What is Total 3 doing? Total 3 is going to kind of give me some direction here. Okay, so we've got Total 3 breaking. So we know Total 3 is probably going to come all the way down to about 674. Right? So 674, 676 on Total 3. We got altcoins a lot more ways to drop if we look at the 3-day. So I didn't want to talk about this double top because everybody would have said, you're bearish, you're bearish. But now we got to talk about the double top because your main support on Total 3 is all the way down here. That isn't me being bearish, guys. That is me just showing you where Total 3 is probably going to go. If Total 3 drops 184%, altcoins are absolutely going to be, I don't know, there's a huge market reset coming in crypto. With gold and XAU and all that, XAG, right? Like even gold now is resetting. This is going to be a very, very interesting week for the market. Very interesting week with gold coming down. The monthly is pointing right down on gold, guys. I'd be very, very cautious playing gold, longing gold. The weekly is starting to come down on gold. You're having insane bearish divergence on gold. You've already broken a main trend. I think I talked about this the other day. Glad you're back and feeling better. Tony Gold, yeah, I'm feeling better. Yep, for sure. I messed up my back pretty bad though, so I'm in a lot of back pain, but besides that, we're okay. Yeah, I'd be very, very cautious on gold. Now, if we break out and get back inside of that channel on gold, we are probably going to pump and fake out. But that monthly is looking very, very grim for gold, at least on a retrace. However, see the 18-hour here. So if we look at the 18-hour trend, we broke, right? This is a trend breaking from October of 2025 on gold. So gold is bouncing off this macro right here. If we break right here on gold, big drop coming. What about Tether DOM? See, that is why you don't go ham on coins that touch the top of the RSI. First, silver, though. Did silver break? Silver broke too. 2025 trend. Yeah, there's going to be a reset in the market. Everything looks like it wants to reset. Now, I'm not saying silver is going to crash in gold, but what I am saying is there is going to be a retrace. I would say we come down to the conversion line, which maybe is about 62, but there's also a lot of fair value gaps here too. So be cautious when you're trading these or shorting these. I say we get a retrace on silver maybe to about 89. Interesting month for everything, for sure. Tethered DOM is broken out, guys. Look at this. My prediction has come true. Did I want to be right? I don't know. Kind of, because here's the thing. It doesn't matter if you short the market. It doesn't matter if you long the market. The reality is we can make a lot of money if we find a real direction. Now Tether DOM is very, very bullish. And breaking out of what I thought could happen. And that would be putting you at about that 10% mark on your triple bottom. The monthly is skyrocketing. The monthly on Tether DOM is about to break out of your zero line on your MACD, where Bitcoin and everything else crypto related is about to go down on your MACD. This could be a very, very interesting run on Tether DOM. So all we've really been doing is ranging around the 886. If you guys really want me to spew targets of where Tether DOM could go, long term, you are looking up here because all we did was range. If we're breaking out, we got targets all the way at the top. Will I aim for 68%? No. But I do know on the macro time frame, if we break this all-time high, we're really, really in trouble. So I'm going to keep it up there for fun. But it is about to get very real if we break this all-time high on Tether DOM, because that means money is going to be overflowing into stable coins, right? And again, if you're new to the channel, guys, I'm not bearish. I'm just playing the weather. If Bitcoin breaks out, it is what it is, and then we flip long or we look at a different thing. But all-time high searches on YouTube for crypto is 0, okay? There is nobody searching up crypto on YouTube right now. Nobody. Now, in the shorter term, London is bringing us up. So let's see what London is going to do, or let's see what we're going to do before London. This is actually before London. What am I talking about? I gave you guys some longer term targets. Now we're going to look at the shorter term, right? Because we have a market open coming up here. We can see a little bit of a pump happening. And I'm going to draw my downtrend right here. Here's my downtrend. So key thing here, guys, is we did hit the bottom of the channel right here, and we never hit the top. So there's a possibility, low possibility, but there's a possibility we pump up to 79 one more time. But that is the downtrend, okay? Bitcoin is following a beautiful downtrend. If you can find an uptrend in a coin or a downtrend in a coin and ride it, this is where you guys are going to make money. Scalping is okay, but if you guys could find a trend and ride it in 2026, you're going to make a lot of money. And I'm talking life-changing money, okay? So we've got our target right here, about 66. We're playing the downtrend. Let's see if we're overbought in the 1 hour. We're not really. We're kind of oversold, so maybe we fake out into London, manipulate a bit. Here's the downtrend. Bitcoin. If Bitcoin breaks out of this, it is breaking out. I just don't know if it would be a fake out, because even though it's breaking out of the RSI, it needs to break out of the actual trend itself. So can I look at Zebek? Sure. I would say bottom short term 66K, wick to 57K is what I'd be looking at. That would be my ZBCN. I know so many people are bullish about ZBCN, guys, but when we're in a downtrend market, you can't be bullish about any altcoin. It just isn't a thing. You need to be as bearish as you possibly can be. In an uptrend market, you need to be bullish as you possibly can be. I think we talked about ZBCN a while back here, that it was in a downtrend. I thought maybe we were going to push up to the top. It doesn't look like that is going to happen at the current moment. So you've got a bearish pennant, or I guess, no, that would be a bearish flag. So you got a bear flag. Hit the top, hit the top, hit the bottom. Yeah, so it looks like ZBCN is probably going to come all the way down to about here, which is about 001. If we're playing out our fib here, our retracement on our fib, because this is a trend from June of 2025, you've got about 0017355 and then ultimately down here. So I would say you're probably going to come in this region, but in the shorter term, we play the channel until the channel breaks. You're looking at about 0013465 on ZBCN. There's a possibility we continue up. I don't really see that happening. What is the stop loss for a new XRP short? Maybe 162.5. It's tough catching it right now, but it is in a crazy downtrend. Relaxing Sounds Alpha, CELH. Thank you. Thank you guys all for being on the live. Trying my best to navigate this market. Check the DXY. All right. I'm trying my best to navigate this market for you guys. We are going to be showing you guys how to do prop firm trading. February 7th is what we're aiming for on the training, but I need to make sure that we're aiming for February 7th. Let me see how I am tomorrow. I screwed up my back very, very bad. And like every movement I make, I feel like a knife is cutting through. So I need to make sure I'm good. I'm going to do a lot of stretching tomorrow, but as long as I'm good in the next couple of days, should be able to rock out a really good training on Saturday for you guys. I'm going to announce it tomorrow, but February 7th would be the training for now. Basically, guys, prop firm trading, how to get funded accounts, all of that jazz. So how to scalp the 1 minute fair value gaps, how to use a couple of our strategies. So Celsius Holdings is on an uptrend. We are above that conversion line on the macro here. We do have a death cross coming up here, so I would be very, very careful. I'd be very, very careful. Let me just go look at my liquidity gaps right here, CELH. Okay, so you broke the uptrend here. You're kind of ranging. If we could get back above here, we break structure because this is a change of character, but you're essentially looking at this coming down to around $22. if we're rejecting, because we are rejecting this area right here. Otherwise, we range around 37. We would have to get above this high, which is $70 ultimately. Yeah, not much happening on CELH here. We are above that conversion line, so that is semi-bullish, but there's a huge death cross approaching. And I've probably warned everybody of this 800 SMA death cross for the last 4 months. This is looking like we're probably going to have a heavy drop on Celsius holdings. Otherwise, it will range. Okay. So DXY, DXY. Okay, we'll look at the DXY US dollar currency index. All right. So I haven't really done any too much TA on DXY. I've been doing it on mainly USDT Tether DOM stablecoin, but this is the US dollar currency index. We are on a massive uptrend overall. Bit of a fake out right there. I'm going to my larger time frames right now, guys, because they matter. Okay, so this is getting pretty bearish pretty quick. So on the US dollar currency index here, I would say we come down to about 86-ish. Maybe we have, well, we're still got pretty good support down here. So let's first talk about 92.90. We're looking at about 90. If we break this 800 SMA, which actually is a death cross, a major death cross, might I add. This is looking very bearish for the US dollar index. If you guys are looking at the last time you were below, back in 2014, 2008, your 800 SMA is getting very, and I mean very, very close. Crypto King, how you doing? Appreciate you. Thank you for coming on the live. Shout out to all the new people in the live, guys. So what I want to do is I want to go look at the NDX here for a minute. There's a reason I want to do this. Where's the 800 SMA on the NDX? If the dollar goes down, doesn't crypto pump? Yeah, typically, but we're in a bear market now. So, well, we've been in a bear market. We aren't necessarily bearish on the NDX, but with this double top, this is going to be a very interesting week in the market, guys. I'm talking interesting to the nines. We have a huge double top right here. Death cross is approaching. We're fine in that. So we're about to flip the bull market support band on the 4-hour time frame, which we've been above since March of 2025. The 3-day is going to range a bit until you drop. So I would say we range more until this 3-day becomes overbought. Like we're probably going to drop, but we're looking at more of a range. This is a big reset coming, especially if you look right here, guys. Like that's bearish dive all the way from 16,000 to about 28,000 on the NASDAQ. I wouldn't say you're in trouble necessarily, but there's a huge death cross on this 200 SMA. So, and we haven't moved yet. So we might get really red momentum into the market this week if we can't break this high. We might get a fake out pump back to 26, but we are gliding that 200 SMA. Major, major death cross. All right, London is officially open, guys. Our London session is coming up right now. 15 minutes overbought. 1 hour is going up. Four hours ranging. Five minutes kind of dropping. I would say, if anything, we see London accumulate just because the massive trend is down. But I'm curious to see if London takes us down or pumps us up a bit. I do want to look at XRP because it is one of my dynamite trade setups that I'm okay, so XRP is overbought. So we could hypothetically come up to maybe 161 on XRP, maybe. But I doubt it. Well, anything could happen. The 4 hours pointing right down on XRP. So you've got some range momentum to the downside. CJDV, what is up, fam? How are we doing? Appreciate you. Hope you've been making money off the trade calls. I don't expect London to do anything crazy just because, well, look where Bitcoin is, right? We do have a fair value gap right here. Also, I will point out that we do have a fair value gap on the weekly now. So big fair value gap on the weekly, guys. That means that the top on Bitcoin should be 86 in the market. We had a fair value gap here. We back tested the weekly fair value gap. So what we're probably going to do is come all the way down to whatever this target is, come all the way back up here, get everybody bullish, and then come all the way back down. That is essentially how I can see the market playing out, because look, we back tested that trend and fair value gap right there perfectly. Now it makes sense. We drop all the way down to our 382, wick down to maybe 57K, 66K, pump all the way back up. Oh, we're bullish now. We're bullish. That was the bottom. Hit the fair value gap and continue down. Because now there's no more uptrend in the market. Like, the uptrend's done. So typically when we break the uptrend. But it looks like London, it looks like London's probably going to pump the market a bit. I don't think we're going to break out of the downtrend, but I do think London is going to throw some momentum in the market in the first hour, make people bullish. Now, here's the thing, guys. Like I said, we possibly could come up to 79K. So keep this channel right here. We broke the conversion line. We actually back tested the conversion line too right here at about 79.4. So I would say London ranges, if anything. There isn't really a low to take out. Maybe we take out, yeah, I guess there is. We take out Tokyo's low around 74.1, range, come back up, and then drop into New York. I'm telling you guys right now, Monday is going to be very, very interesting in crypto. Very. because we are getting a lot of bearish signs overall. But yeah, I could possibly see if we're breaking out of here, London possibly pumping to 79. Possibly. This would be my shorter term box right here. Not even 79, maybe 77.8. Or just ranging for the overall session. Just make sure you guys have a stop loss set in profit and you know your downtrends. As long as you know your downtrends, everything should be kosher. XRP is my top of the top, though. I do want to look at one trade for fun. I want to look at Bonk. I want to see how low Bonk is, and then I want to look at Pump Fun. Okay, well, Bonk would have been a dynamite short, but now I'm not going to touch it. I want to see if Pump Fun is faking out here. It still is above this breakout. I don't know how I feel about Pump Fun. I want to say this is going to, hold it and range sideways and then pump, but we did break the uptrend on the daily. And the 3 days is about to drop. I would say Pump Fun's going to fake out and dump very hard based on that 3 day. And based on that bearish divergence. I know I said it looked like Pump Fun was going to pump, but we rejected this 3 day conversion line. And it did break out, but it looks like Pump Fun is going to take a drop. I can't say that, though, until we break this channel. We're trying to break it. So keep an eye on Pump Fun. I want to also see what Fartcoin did. There just isn't enough momentum in the market, guys. Yeah, Fartcoin's faking out too. So Fartcoin is now back inside of the breakout channel. So now we got to redraw our channel on Fartcoin, unfortunately. Yeah, you maybe get a pump to about 25. Fartcoin's probably going to come down to about 7 to 10 cents in that region. Ranging at the 3-2, you come down to the 6-1-8. I could see Fartcoin coming all the way back down to the bottom now. Crazy stuff, guys. The market is crazy. But I will say, guys, try to be here for the New York session because I think the New York session is going to be fireworks. We had a big drop the other day. If we're overbought in the 1 hour time frame, there's a possibility this thing just completely just sells off. I definitely look at that New York session on the 3 day. That would be closing on the 3 day for the New York session. Crazy stuff for sure. All right, guys, so London is open. It looks like we are pumping a bit here. like I said, we could hit the top around 77.8 or ultimately even 79, whatever the top of that trend is. But we know the initial is down, so make sure you guys have a stop loss and profit. Now, let's say for whatever reason we broke out into London. For whatever reason, we wake up, oh my gosh, Bitcoin's all the way at 87K. Josh was wrong. No, I'm just following the trend. But if, let's say, we did break out of this downtrend here, whatever it was, 79.8, you're looking at about 86. So keep an eye on that. I don't see us breaking out, but of course, anything is possible. All right, guys, I hope everyone has a great night. We're going to end the live session for London off there. XRP is really my play, not really Bitcoin right now, because I know Bitcoin is going to range for a bit. Solana might be my play, but we'll see what happens in the New York session. So hope you guys have a great night. London is officially open. We're just really ranging around that 76 to 78. And then we'll see what happens in New York. And I'm very, very excited for New York. We may pump into New York, but I will say New York is going to be fireworks. With the big drop we had on the weekend, oh yeah. New York is absolutely going to be fireworks. So see you guys tomorrow on the New York Live, 9 a.m. CST. We'll talk to you guys later. Have a really good night. Take care. Oh, guys, 24-hour live on Twitch. I need to update my computer one more time, but then I'm going to put it up for you guys. So if you guys are not following me on Twitch, go follow. 24-hour live will continue after I update my computer again. Look at beastlimitless.com. All right, go to beastlimitless.com and I'll post it in the announcements, the live stream. I'm just going to say, hey, 24-hour live Twitch is coming on. And you guys could talk with everybody and watch the fireworks over the next, I don't know, 8 to 10 hours. Okay, I hope you guys have a great night. We'll see you in the New York session. Take care.